And hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. Alright, so today I'm going to tell you all about the bubble sort and how to sort of arrays. So yeah, we're going back to arrays after taking a slight break. So imagine for a second that these numbers here, these are an array. And we want to sort the array. So it isn't 1, 2, 9, 7, 5. It is 1, 2, 5, 7, 9. Like that. So we're going to use an algorithm called the bubble sort. Now, it is one of the most easiest sorting methods to learn. It's not the only one out there, but it is the easiest for beginners to get. And even as someone who has been programming for 3 years, I still use it a lot of the times. Not that much because JavaScript already gives the option to sort for me, but anyways. So what's going to happen is we're going to put our pointer right here and we're going to tell it, hey, what's this number? And it's going to say it's 1. Then we're going to make it go to the next one and it's going to put its pointer right there and see it's going to go 2, but it's still going to have a pointer. Let's just change the color to something we can see as well, but it's still going to have a pointer right here, a reference pointer if you may. And basically it's going to say, is 2 smaller or bigger than 1? Now, let's say we want to go from small to big, right? And it's going to say 2 is bigger than 1, so 2 should stay here and then 1 should stay there. Okay, so right now we know it is 1 and it is then 2. Now the pointer is going to go here to 9 and it's going to check again, but this time for 2. So it's going to check 2 and it's going to be like, okay, so 9 is bigger than 2, right? Okay, good. So that means 9 stays here because we shouldn't move 9 forward. Okay. Then it's going to go to 7. And here is where it's going to check back at 9. It's going to be like, wait, what? 7, that's smaller than 9. And we want the smallest, from smallest to biggest. So, okay, then let's go again. So it's 1, 2, and now we put 7 there and 9 here. Now the computer thinks, yeah, I'm very smart. I'm so smart, I just fixed this whole array. Then it sees, oh, there's another one. But now remember, 9's here. So this here is 9 now, and this here is 7. So then it's going to compare 9, right here, let's go back to it. It's going to compare 9 with 5. It's going to check, okay, so 5 is smaller than 9, so I should rewrite the array again. So now it's going to go 1, 2, 7, 5, 9. Okay, good job. Now it's going to go over again. It's going to loop through it again to make sure everything's correct. And that's where we go here. So this is now our new array. And now it's going to start with the array again. Let's change to black. So it's going to check 1. 1, okay, we have 1. Now it's going to compare 1 with 2. 2 is bigger than 1, so 2 stays where it is. Then it's going to compare 2 with 7, right? As you can see, okay, 7, that is bigger than 2, we can leave it right there. Then it's going to go again. Okay, ooh, what is it? 5. 5 is smaller than 7. Oh, okay, let's rewrite this. So now it's 1, 2, 5, 7, 9. And now it's going to compare, let's change the color again to red. Now it's going to compare this 7 number right here. We should actually work with indexes. So it's going to compare index 4, as we know in Delphi, with index 5 or 9. So it's going to compare 7 with 9. And you can see, okay, but 9 is bigger than 7. Okay. Now this is our new array. 1, 2, 5, 7, 9. So now it's going to loop through it again. And it's going to be like, okay, 1. That's fine. 2. 2 is bigger than 1, so 2 should stay there. 5 is bigger than 2, so 5 should stay here. 7 is bigger than 5, so 5 should stay here and 7 should stay there. 9 is bigger than 7. This is going to be like, okay, but there's nothing left. And we did check thoroughly through all of this. So this array is sorted. And that's basically how the bubble sort works. It's going to loop through the array the whole time until it's array and makes sure that there is nothing to make sure that there's nothing out of its place. It's going to go through it a bunch of times. Now, if you don't quite understand this too greatly, we're going to code it anyway, so you're going to see how it goes in action. Alright, so let's close this. So this is basically the bubble sort. You can use it in almost any language and it will basically work the same. It doesn't really matter how big the array is, but just know the bubble sort is not the fastest sort in the world. It does take a short while, and that is why there are better sorts out there, but they're more complicated. So let's just negative all of that. Now I have created a small form, just read display, reject btn display, btn sort, which this one just displays the array. And we click on this. Here are the arrays, our names, which were declared up here, and our age. And here are just a couple of names, and here are the people's ages. Okay. And then here we have just a basic display. It just displays everything. It doesn't do anything specific. And we're going to use this to display everything the whole time. So let's go to sorting the array. Now, how would we go about sorting it? Now, what we want to do is we're going to sort both of these because these are their ages and their ages should stay with the people. But for now, let's focus on first sorting the names in alphabetical order. So let's go variable and then let's add an stemp. This is so we can have a temporary variable to keep a name in while we move things around, because we can't remove a name from an array, replace that name, and then put that name back without adding another variable. Which means if we go here, if we take, let's say we're here, if we remove 7, so we can add 5 here, then it removed 7. We didn't store it in a variable then, so how is it going to know 7 has to go back here? It's not going to know that. So we store 7 in temp. Okay, we make temp to equal to 7, and then we make this equal to temp. Okay, and then we can continue, and we can do that the whole time. So let's go. First we want to create a for loop. For let I equals 1 to the length of our names, and then begin. So this is just going to loop through it one time. Now let me just quickly show you what we're going to do. So we're going to go stemp becomes our names at index I, and then we're going to say our names at index I becomes our names at index I plus 1, and then we're going to say our names at index I plus 1 becomes stemp. And this is just the basic, but this is not how we're going to do it. We're just showing you right now. So basically it's going to set this name, this is, let's say this is 1, it's going to set 1 or stemp equal to 1. So this right here is a stemp. Then it's going to flip them, it's going to make the one after this one, so it's going to make 2 equal to index 1, and then it's going to make where 2 was equal to stemp, which was 1. So now the first two numbers would be 2, 1, and then 5, 7, 9. But now you might be thinking, but how is that going to sort it correctly then? It's just going to scramble everything. Correct. That is why we create an if statement. We say if our names at index I is more than our names at index I plus 1. And how might this work, you may ask? Now, for some of you, this might be common knowledge, and for others, it may not. But let me quickly explain something. All letters in the alphabet has a specific, let's say, a specific number value to it. For example, if I'm correct, A is equal to 97. I'm not sure if that's correct, but if I'm correct, then it is. And B would then be equal to 98. And C would then be equal to 99. So it's going to go on like this. And what's going to happen is, if it finds a name, let's say the name is A, then it's going to say, okay, the name's number value is 97. Or let's say the name is AB, then the name's number value would be 97, 98, you know? And then you have one that's BA. The name BA would be 98, 97. So the computer sees everything as numbers, and we see everything as not numbers, we see it as letters. And the computer is going to check, okay, this one's 97 and this one's 98. 97 is smaller than 98, so 97 is obviously going to be before this one. We can also go AC, which would be 97, 99. And then it would be 98, 97. And it's going to check, oh, but that's not correct. Okay, so this should be here because this one is less than this one. And it's going to check here, 98, 99. It's to say, okay, this should stay the same because 99 is bigger than 98. And that's basically how it's going to compare everything. Whew, that was a lot to explain and a lot to take in, of course. But you might also be thinking about, is this good practice to do it like this? Because I can see how if you have multiple, if you just use this, it's just so much to type, and not even just much to type, it just looks like bad practice. That is also why it's a good reason to go for and create an extra for loop, which takes in j this time, 1 to the length of our names, and we can just go at the begin and add our end. And now we can switch it from I plus 1 to j. And now it also suddenly becomes a lot more readable. So before I forget, this should be I plus 1. So it's the same thing, but this time it just has, you know, this. So yeah, that's basically how it's going to work, how it's going to format everything. So it's going to set I equal to 1. And let's draw that. So now let's get started. So where were we? Okay, so we were here at for I equals 1. Okay, so let's create an array. There is 1, 2, 9, 7, 5. I do not like that brush, so let's say enable that. Okay, 1, 2, 9, 7, 5. That's our array. Now we say I, the variable I, we make that equal to 1. So it's going to be equal to index 1. This is index 1. Remember arrays? This is index 1, index 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then we say j is equal to 1 plus 1, because it's I plus 1. So this will be 2. So this is j. So let's just create it right here. So this is I at the moment, and this is J at the moment. And let's go here. If our name's at index I, so if this one right here is bigger than this one right here, but only if it's bigger, then take sTemp, the variable we created, so we'll just call that s, and make it equal to the one at I. But right now nothing will happen because this hasn't been confirmed. Okay, let's erase that. So now it has confirmed that those two are safe. Now let's continue. Now I has become, let's make that red, but I'm going to draw over it. Now I has become 2. So I is 2, and J is now, because it's I plus 1, and I is now 2, it's going to become 2 plus 1. And 2 plus 1, as we know, is 3. So I is going to be at index 2, and J is going to be at index 3. And it's going to compare them again. Is 2 bigger than 1? No. I mean, is 2 bigger than 9? No, it's not. So we're not going to do that. Now I has become 3. So this is 3 plus 1, and 3 plus 1, as we know, becomes 4. So I is now at index 3, J is now at index 4, so this is I, this is J. Okay, now it's going to check, is I bigger than J? And it's going to see 9 is bigger than 7, and it's going to set 9 right here. sTemp becomes R at index I, this is I. So it's going to say S becomes 9. I almost did a 7 there. There. Okay, and then it's going to remove 9 from the array, basically. And it's going to replace 9 with 7. So now it's 1, 2, 7. And then there's an open index, which is also 7 right now, 5. And that's what's happening here. I becomes J. I has become J. But J has not changed. And now here we say J, this is J right here, that's J, becomes sTemp right here, this is sTemp. So then it is 1, 2, 7, 9, 5. And that's how the array works. I hope you all understand that, because that is very basic. But it can be quite difficult to understand, especially at the beginning. But it's good to try it yourself and see what you can do. So now we're going to run this. So display the array. Here is the array normally. And the one that should be first is Caleb or Carla. Actually, it's Andrea because that's an A. So if we say sort array and then display again, now Andrea, Caleb, Jack, Jenny, John, Lucas, Macbeth, Mark, and Stephen. All of them are in the correct order, but not the ages. If you could remember how it looked before we said sort, the ages did not change. I just ran it quickly. The ages did not change. See 24, 10, 19. Sort, display, 24, 10, 19. Now that's a problem. So what we do is we create an iTemp variable, because we're working with an integer array now. And we can actually copy this. Not literally copy a template, but we can kind of copy that. And we can go iTemp becomes our age at index I. And then our age at index I becomes our age at index J. And then our age at index J becomes iTemp. Now this is basically in literal representation of what I have just shown you. Numbers and all, not the specific numbers, but it's the same type of numbers. So now if we go just Control E, Control S, and we run this, it will arrange the ages as well. So let's keep track of an age just to make sure. So Andrea's age is 33 and Macbeth's age is 100. Let's sort the array, display the array. 33 is Andrea's and Macbeth is 100. So the ages are getting sorted as well. But you might be thinking to yourself, wait, wouldn't the smallest age be first? That's a no. That's a big no-no, because this only compares the names. It doesn't compare the ages, so the ages just changes along with the names. If you wanted the ages to change as well, you'd have to go if, and then create your own if statement, or age at index I is bigger than our age at index j. You'll have to create your own if statement in order to do something like that. How long has this video been? 22 minutes of me just explaining the bubble sort. But that is how you sort an array. And that is basically how it works. So just remember, if you're getting confused, letters are just numbers to the computer. You can actually go search this up and you will find, I think these are called ASCII values, I'm not sure. But you will find them. And yeah, that is how you sort an array. And that's also what the bubble sort is. Two birds with one stone. Now what if you want to sort the age? You can just go R age and then R age. And then we'd sort it by the age of the people, and you can sort it like that. Display the array, sort the array, and the youngest is John, which is 5, and the oldest is Macbeth. Sorted, Macbeth is there, John is there. Isn't that perfect? I hope you all understood what I told you all today, and I hope you all can now sort an array without any problems. Thank you all for watching. See you all in the next video.